body. I found a dead body.
Is it a shed? Or is it like where someone's living? Ugh.
Big eyes.
While it was raining, you're like, oh God!
Tonight, we look at 6 disturbing camping encounters caught on camera. Real moments, real danger. Don't forget to subscribe for more terrifying footage like this. Let's begin. On March 24th, 2024, the YouTube channel Into the Void, widely known for its investigations into the unexplained and paranormal, released a chilling video that unsettled thousands of viewers. The channel frequently explores haunted sites, cryptid hotspots, and locations with bizarre reputations. This time, the focus was on something often overlooked: storm drains. The video begins with the host seated inside his vehicle, parked on the outskirts of a quiet urban area. He outlines his plan to explore a nearby drainage tunnel, one hidden beneath the city's surface. These narrow, echoing passageways are easy to forget, but they're often perfect environments for strange and unexplained activity. The host ventured into one such storm drain, armed with only a flashlight, a camera, and a sense of determination. From the moment he entered, the atmosphere turned grim. The walls echoed with the sound of dripping water. The darkness was absolute beyond his flashlight's reach, and every step deeper into the tunnel increased the weight of isolation. As he moved forward, he noted the tunnel's gradual narrowing, which made turning around increasingly difficult. Soon, something shifted. Unclear shapes began appearing at the edge of the light, silent, humanoid outlines that lingered just out of focus. Initially, they seemed like optical illusions or shadows playing tricks. But they didn't vanish. Their slow, deliberate movement hinted at something more real and more threatening. Eventually, he reached a section where the tunnel curved and became even tighter. Visibly shaken, he paused, sensing that something was off.
Closes off a little bit. I'm really not looking forward to this. I don't know what that was. I need to take a breather. What the fuck? Nope. I'm dipping out. Fuck this shit. I don't know what that is. Oh fuck.
That's when it began. An unnatural screech, sharp and mechanical, echoing from deeper inside. Unlike any known animal sound, it carried a distorted tone that sent adrenaline surging. Another screech followed, this time louder and nearer. Panic set in. Without waiting to investigate further, he turned and sprinted back the way he came. The tunnel now felt suffocating. Every step through water echoed by the dread that something, or someone, was in pursuit. Gasping for air, the beam of his flashlight darted across the tunnel walls as he pushed himself to escape. Eventually, he burst out into daylight, physically unharmed but clearly shaken. Back above ground, the host tried to process what had happened. The noises, metallic, aggressive, almost digital, didn't match any common source. The shadowy figures? Too vague to identify but too persistent to dismiss. Viewers offered a wide range of theories. Some suggested a cryptid, possibly a rake, or something similar to urban legends like the Wendigo. But nothing could quite explain the screeches, nor the sense of being watched. Could this storm drain be home to something yet undiscovered? Something that thrives in the forgotten depths below the city? Or was it all a terrifying coincidence amplified by the claustrophobic surroundings? Either way, the video leaves a lingering question. Are the darkest things hiding out in the wild, or right beneath our feet? Hold on a sec. If you're enjoying this so far, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's continue. Kevin, the creator behind the YouTube channel Small Plots, has built a reputation for his quiet, low-key urban stealth camping videos. Rather than dramatic production or high-risk exploration, his content focuses on real, grounded experiences in unusual, often overlooked areas: parking lots, suburban forests, and in this case, a strange, partially flooded woodland near an electrical substation. The location for this particular solo outing was remote, yet unsettlingly close to civilization. Kevin had visited the area before, even mentioning that he'd once been asked to leave while biking nearby, making stealth all the more important for this trip. As the video begins, Kevin hikes through soaked undergrowth, navigating ankle-deep water, tangled brush, and fallen limbs. The ground is uneven and slippery. Much of the forest is filled with dead ash trees, the aftermath of an emerald ash borer infestation, giving the area a decayed, almost forgotten feeling. Eventually, he selects a clearing far off the main trail and sets up his hammock and tarp. But even as he prepares his campsite, the area feels off. There are no people, no foot traffic, yet signs of human activity linger.
So there are, you just see on the ground over here, it's not recent, but some of these branches and stuff are cut mechanically. Probably a small electric chainsaw, something like that. So it's very possible. I mean, I already know hunters come back here. That's probably who it is. If the rain lets up, I will go a little bit farther into the woods. I think there are homes this way. I'm not too sure, but I think that's where they are.
Cut branches, reflective markers, an overgrown ATV path. The clues suggest that someone had been there, but not recently enough to know who or why.
The entire time I've been here, since I walked into the forest, I've been hearing this wailing sound. Like a no, some kind of animal. It's actually now just occurring to me. It might be a chicken or a rooster or something. But it's eerie. It's starting to let up a little bit, which is nice. That's the sound, the wail I'm talking about, the wailing. That has to be a chicken or something, right? Something. Kind of sounds like a rooster, like half-heartedly crowing. I'll have to boost the audio on that.
At first, Kevin tries to rationalize them. Perhaps an animal, maybe a distant bird. But the noises persist and shift. There are faint, high-pitched tones resembling wailing, and at times, sounds that almost resemble distant voices. Combined with the fog and the nearby electrical hum from the substation, it creates a deeply unsettling atmosphere. With the ground too wet for a fire, Kevin eats a cold dinner, trying to stay lighthearted. But he's clearly on edge. He frequently stops mid-sentence, glancing into the trees. At one point, he even mentions a growing sense that he's being watched. Not with fear, but with that uneasy awareness that comes when you're far from help, but not necessarily alone. The night passes quietly, but the tension doesn't lift. In the morning, as he packs up and hikes out, Kevin notices things he hadn't seen in the low light.
Oh my god, it's a boat. Feels pretty interesting, I'm not gonna lie. I've noticed it on the map before. There's a potential place to camp. Yeah, something's over there. I can't see it. Let's go check out this boat real quick before I get out of here. All right, sounds like it's leaving, whatever it is. Yeah, it's just a boat, some garbage, yeah. More implied trail going this way, probably to homes over there. Some metal, some rocks. This raised area almost looks like like a man-made raised area, like there was a building here at one point, maybe years ago. Maybe where's where that boat came from. Weird place for a boat. Right next to this berm that may have something to do with the railroad that used to run through here. I don't know. Well, that was a fun little unexpected discovery. Right next to us the whole night, just a boat. Just a boat. All right.
Just off the trail, he spots an abandoned boat oddly perched on a man-made rise. Nearby, chunks of concrete and rusted debris suggest that a structure once stood here. Long gone, but not forgotten.
Is it a shed? Or is it like where someone's living? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I think somebody might be staying there. I'm not gonna get any closer. I thought it looked like a big metal shed. It's not. It's like a tarp covering stuff. Okay. All right.
Curious, he follows a faint trail deeper into the woods and spots something in the distance. Initially thinking it's an old shed, he approaches cautiously. But it becomes clear it's not a structure at all. It's a tarp, pulled over what appears to be a makeshift shelter, possibly lived in. Suddenly aware he may not have been alone during the night, Kevin backs away and decides not to explore further. Respecting the potential occupant's privacy, and with growing unease, he exits the forest and ends his trip. While there was no direct confrontation, the trip left viewers unsettled. The strange sounds, the eerie silence, and the presence of a possible hidden shelter raise uncomfortable questions. Was someone watching him the entire time? Could the sounds have come from a nearby resident intentionally trying to scare him off? Or was it something else entirely? Even though nothing overtly threatening occurred, the atmosphere, the tension, the isolation, and the uncertainty made it one of Kevin's most disturbing outings to date. Is it more unsettling to hear a sound you can't explain, or to realize you were never actually alone? Sometimes it's not the weather or the terrain that makes a camping trip terrifying. Sometimes it's what, or who, is just beyond the trees and never shows themselves. What do you think was really going on in those woods? LPC is a YouTube creator recognized for his raw, immersive camping videos in some of the world's most remote and unpredictable environments. On July 16, 2016, what began as a seemingly ordinary solo trip would become one of the most nerve-wracking nights he ever recorded. The trip took place far from civilization, deep within untouched land. As with many of his adventures, the goal was simple: isolation, peace, and immersion in nature. The early evening passed quietly. No suspicious noises, no signs of danger. Everything suggested it would be a calm, uneventful night. That changed shortly after 2 a.m. Lying inside his tent, he was suddenly overcome by a strong sense that something was wrong. It wasn't a sound that woke him at first, but rather an undeniable gut instinct, the feeling that something nearby wasn't right.
freak it if you went down. Yeah, I did.
Moments later, that instinct was confirmed. From just beyond the edge of his camp came a deep, thunderous roar. It was unmistakable, the sound of a lion. And based on the intensity, it wasn't far. Lions rarely go after humans, but when you're alone, unarmed, and surrounded by nothing but fabric, even that statistical comfort offers little reassurance. Remaining motionless, he quietly began recording. He didn't shout. He didn't unzip the tent. Any movement might have drawn attention. He had no shelter beyond the tent walls. No vehicle, no fire, no weapon. Just darkness and the breath of a predator nearby. The next several minutes were a psychological battle. Breathing softly, trying to remain calm, he waited, every second dragging endlessly. The lion didn't attack, but it didn't leave right away either. Its presence loomed just beyond the thin nylon wall, creating a sense of exposure that no camera could fully convey. Eventually, the roaring faded. The threat seemed to move away, but the damage was done. Sleep was impossible. The night had transformed from peaceful retreat to silent survival. By dawn, he emerged unharmed, but clearly changed. The experience underscored a harsh truth. Out there, you're never fully in control. No matter how experienced, how prepared, nature always has the final word. What made this moment truly frightening wasn't just the presence of a lion. It was the total vulnerability. No cage, no car, no barrier. Some viewers speculated that the lion may have been investigating territorial boundaries or was perhaps lured by the scent of food. Others suggested it might have simply been passing through. Whatever the reason, the creator's decision to remain completely still and calm likely prevented escalation. It's a powerful reminder of how primal instinct and restraint can mean the difference between a close call and catastrophe. How would you react, faced with an apex predator just feet away in the dead of night? Out in the wild, sometimes the biggest threat isn't what you can see. It's what's watching you quietly in the dark. This next entry comes from a little-known YouTube channel called Captain Oho, a mysterious account with only a single video uploaded. But that lone video stands out as one of the more unsettling solo camping encounters captured on camera. The clip was recorded on August 31st, 2023, during a solo camping trip to Lost Lake in Oregon. At the time, a major wildfire was raging just 12 miles to the west. Despite some hesitation due to the conditions, the uploader went forward with his trip, explaining that it had been a year in the making. The plan was simple: hike into the wilderness, set up camp near the lake, and enjoy some fishing. Initially, things seemed relatively normal. The air quality wasn't great, but it was manageable. Encouraged by the conditions, he began his hike toward the lake. However, several hours in, the wind shifted. Smoke from the wildfire rolled in fast, cloaking the area in a dense, choking haze. By the time he reached Lost Lake, visibility had dropped significantly. The surrounding landscape, typically serene and picturesque, now looked post-apocalyptic.
So this is a trip. We're in Lost Lake, Oregon. We're out here with the ultralight, and you can't see 150 feet out there on the lake. This is all wildfire up here right now. We're out here trying to catch trout, but look at that. We came up, and boom, we drove right into this mess. So we're gonna try to catch us some trout. Try to go from there. It really is the end of the world. Fishing up here. Look at that clearing out. Unbelievable. You can see this combination of smoke and moisture, but it is unreal up here. Some apocalyptic conditions. This is the most photographed lake in Oregon, maybe in the United States. And it is absolutely gorgeous out here when it is not the end of the world. So just unreal. I'm sure it's going to be something that you can light on. Wildfire. Yeah. Let's go get cigarettes.
Thick smoke hung over the water, and the air was barely breathable. Despite the ominous atmosphere, he attempted to fish, but quickly realized it wasn't worth the risk. He abandoned his plans and retreated back into the woods, where the smoke seemed slightly less intense. That's when things took a bizarre turn.
Fun fact, a year ago I came out here with my wife and she was about to pop pregnant, and we had to stop probably a quarter of the mile back. And I'd say this is our time to head back too, because whatever large creature is back there, it's big. Let's take a look. Shh. Probably fucking Sasquatch at this point.
He spotted something large moving in the distance. At first, he thought it might be a deer or bear, possibly displaced by the wildfire. But the more he watched, the less convinced he became. The figure wasn't moving like any typical forest animal, and then it started throwing objects.
Turn it back. This is Sasquatch country. Oh my god. Wonderful poles and rock. We are back. Hear that? The one thing that is consistently reported with Sasquatch, rock throwing. Hear that? Big rocks. Those are big rocks, dude. Woo! Dude, they're lobbing rocks at me. Big rocks. Hear that shit? It's hitting me free. Woo! We're in Sasquatch country. This is not fake either, bro. They're big rocks being thrown at us right now. Huge, dude. Holy Woo! Let's move, man. Woo! Let's keep it too close, bro. We gotta keep it moving. We gotta keep it moving, baby. I do not want to die out here. Chunky rocks, dude. Dude, those are huge rocks. Huge. That is like no joke rocks. I don't have my gun out here. Do not want to film my demise either. Let's cook it. We gotta cook it. Jesus Christ, dude. What the was that?
What began as faint rustling escalated into the sound of large rocks slamming into nearby trees. Not small pebbles, but heavy, deliberate throws, enough to make him believe something powerful was nearby. He became increasingly panicked, remarking on the size of the rocks and how close they were landing. Fearing for his safety, and without any way to defend himself, he turned and made a fast retreat, navigating the smoke-filled forest with adrenaline driving every step. Eventually, he made it back to his car. Once the door shut behind him, he described the feeling as pure relief. Later, still shaken by what he had experienced, he decided to upload the footage online. Viewers quickly flooded the comments with theories. Some believed the encounter was with a Sasquatch, pointing to the rock-throwing behavior as a known trait in many alleged Bigfoot sightings. Others were more skeptical, questioning the authenticity of the events. Given the remote location, the lack of visible human presence, and the conditions caused by the nearby wildfire, it's not out of the question that a large animal, possibly disoriented or threatened, could behave unpredictably. However, the accuracy and size of the rocks being thrown suggests something with significant strength and intent. For those who believe in cryptids, this incident checks several boxes commonly associated with Bigfoot lore: rock throwing, forest territory, and encounters during solitude. So what really happened out there? Was it a close brush with one of the Pacific Northwest's most infamous legends? Or simply a case of misidentification fueled by fear and smoke-filled confusion? Let us know what you believe in the comments below. This next story comes from the YouTube channel Small Plots, where Kevin shares his offbeat camping experiences. From stealth hammocks tucked into hidden spots to fully equipped base camps in unusual places, his content strikes a balance between entertainment, practical advice, and raw honesty. He doesn't shy away from showing the difficulties of outdoor life, and this particular trip would be one of those nights that stuck with him. On November 2nd, 2023, Kevin set out for another overnight adventure. This time, he chose a highly unconventional location: the overgrown property of an abandoned hotel situated on the edge of an urban neighborhood. To avoid attracting unwanted attention, he parked his car in a busier, more secure area a short distance away. With his gear packed, he made his way on foot toward the secluded lot, adrenaline and curiosity fueling each step. But underneath that excitement, a layer of unease followed him. After all, this part of town didn't have the best reputation.
Okay, I'm getting close to where I want to jump in to the forest, kind of near those what are they, storage tanks of some kind of petroleum product. I haven't seen a soul back here, so I'm just gonna go. Hey, buddy. Okay. All right, let's go. Oh yeah. There's definitely some slip marks here. They are probably from deer, though. It's tough to tell. Is it like a super used? Ooh, like it's overly used trail, quote unquote. Okay, well.
As he moved past some old industrial tanks and approached the wooded boundary of the hotel property, he noticed faint tracks, possibly from deer, though not entirely clear. The hotel itself, shuttered for several years, was known to have security patrols, but Kevin hoped that by camping near the perimeter rather than inside the building, he'd stay unnoticed. Still, he kept a low profile. Eventually, he found a sheltered clearing and began setting up camp. With his tent pitched, gear arranged, and a drink in hand, he embraced the quiet as the rain began to fall. The steady rhythm of raindrops against the tent added to the sense of calm. But that calm was short-lived.
Let's do a little tour of the tent, eh? As you can see, here's my sleeping pad. Not in its final configuration. As you can see, it's up on some rocks and stuff there, so I'll turn it diagonally. And then behind me is just endless darkness. As you can see, that's where my pack and stuff is. Rain's really starting to pick up. Just kind of hanging out, enjoying my space kitty. It's got to be a rain alarm for the airport right over there. I've heard that before when I've been camping in the vicinity while it was raining. And they're like, oh God! Something just ran by the tent. It was the lights in my eyes, I couldn't see anything.
At one point in the evening, Kevin was startled by the sudden sound of something rushing past his tent. Fast, heavy, and close. Too close. Instinctively, he froze, unsure whether it was an animal or something else entirely. The noise hadn't been accompanied by the usual crashing through brush that a deer might make. Whatever it was, it moved with speed, but not recklessness.
I don't see any eyes looking back. I don't think. Wait, I just thought I did. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't even remember what I was talking about. Between the eerie alarm happening over at the airport and whatever it was that just ran past me about 3-4 feet in front of me, I think it's safe to say I'm a little bit on edge. I'm just sitting here, letting my eyes get used to the darkness, scanning. I don't see anything. I don't see anything on the quote-unquote horizon.
Trying to keep calm, Kevin reached for his flashlight and stepped outside. Rain continued to fall steadily as he scanned the surrounding darkness. He saw nothing. No movement. No eyes reflecting back at him. But the unsettling feeling lingered. That part of the city was known for its rough edges, and the thought of a stranger passing that close to his tent wasn't comforting. He stayed alert, listening for any further sounds, but the forest remained still. Despite the creeping fear, he chose not to leave. The idea of hiking back through unfamiliar urban streets at night felt equally unsafe. So he stayed, hunkered down, hoping the rest of the night would be uneventful. It wasn't. Every sound, every gust of wind, every snapping twig felt exaggerated. He barely slept. Only when the first light of morning filtered through the clouds did Kevin finally feel safe enough to breathe freely again. But the question remained: what or who had passed so close to his tent during the night. Given the location, an abandoned commercial site in a city neighborhood known for transient activity, it's plausible that the presence outside Kevin's tent wasn't an animal at all. It may have been someone passing through, a squatter, or even another urban camper. The lack of crashing noises supports this theory. Still, the possibility of a large animal can't be completely ruled out. So what do you think was lurking just feet away in the darkness? Was it a harmless animal caught in the rain, or something else entirely? A person wandering through the shadows, or something far more unsettling? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And with that, let's move on to the next story. This final story centers around a well-known YouTuber, Mark Wilkins, the creator behind Northeast Georgia Kayak Fishing. For over 6 years, his channel had been a peaceful corner of the internet, inviting viewers along as he paddled through rivers and lakes, finding joy and solace in the calm rhythm of kayak fishing. For Mark, it was never just about the catch. It was about reconnecting with nature and escaping the demands of everyday life. But on December 13th, 2024, what began as a calm day on the water turned into something far more disturbing, something that would stay with him forever. That morning, a cold mist clung to the surface of Lake Emery, especially in the narrow channel along the Little Tennessee River. The lake was still, shrouded in fog, and the silence was only broken by the sound of water lapping gently against the kayaks. Mark had invited his longtime friend John to join him for the trip. The two set off with their gear secured and GoPros recording, expecting another relaxing outing. The lake was familiar territory, which made the experience all the more comfortable at first. For hours, they drifted through bends in the river, casting lines, exchanging stories, and enjoying the tranquility. Then, everything changed. While paddling through a quieter stretch, the two noticed something floating near the edge of the water.
A human being?
Copy that.
Say again?
Copy. I think we got a dead body here. Yep, we do. A dead body. Oh my god, a dead body. I found a dead body. Oh my god, a dead body. I gotta call the police. It's right there. God, a dead body. I call 911. I don't want to sit here and poke at it and shit. 911. I am fishing on Lake Emery and I have come across a dead body. I am put in at the boat ramp and I was going down towards the discharge, the water station discharge, and I'm kind of in between the discharge and the boat ramp, heading down towards the dam.
Okay, are you in the water?
Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at it. I mean, it could, I mean, it looks like a dead body. I mean, there's a hand sticking up, there's a rotted face. I don't know if it's some kind of stupid Halloween spooky thing, but I'm not touching it. So,
What was your name, sir?
my name is Mark Wilkins. It looks like it's been here for
5051 or 5005 number.
yes, sir. John, go up there and look at that and tell me what you think. Yeah.
Are you just waiting or?
No, I'm in my boat. Oh my God, dear Lord, please rest that person's soul. I mean, I saw that hand sticking up and I was just like, is that some kind of Halloween, like, spooky yard thing that ended up in here? Right. Because it is small. But I looked at the face, dude. It's definitely a person. Hey, and there's shoes at the boat ramp, dude. There's just a pair of, like, little Crocs, not like a girl-sized Crocs just sitting there at the boat ramp. Weird.
What's the report of a girl missing?
Yeah, it was like a young, it's hard to tell by that face. It was like a young girl, but there's no way that would decay in that fast. I mean, I don't know how long they said she was missing in that little thing, but
This looks like it's been there a minute.
yeah.
Guys, thank you. I'll call you if I need anything.
Okay, all right. Hey, don't forget to check that boat ramp, dude. Those little pairs of shoes,
We got somebody.
oh, that's creepy as hell, dude.
It didn't take long before they realized it wasn't debris. It was a body. The peaceful tone of the day evaporated instantly. Startled and shaken, Mark called emergency services. He described the scene in detail, mentioning a visible hand and a face that looked badly decomposed. Though uncertain at first if it might be some kind of Halloween prop or prank, a closer look revealed the truth. It was real. As authorities responded, Mark and John remained nearby. They had also noticed a small pair of shoes, what appeared to be women's Crocs, left near the boat ramp earlier in the day. Now that detail seemed deeply unsettling. Law enforcement quickly arrived and began cordoning off the area. The floating body was confirmed to be that of a young girl. Her identity, the cause of death, and how she ended up in that section of the river all remained unknown at the time. The shoes found nearby were believed to be hers, though it was unclear how long they had been there. Mark later uploaded the footage of that day to his channel. What had started as just another kayak trip had become something far more serious. Viewers flooded the comments with support, expressing sorrow for the girl and commending Mark and John for keeping their composure and taking the right action. In the following weeks, Mark found it difficult to return to the water. The lake, once a sanctuary, now held darker memories. Though he continued posting videos, longtime subscribers noted a change in tone, a certain heaviness in his voice and expressions. While details remained scarce, some viewers speculated that the girl may have slipped and drowned, or perhaps had been missing for days before drifting downstream. Others wondered if the shoes were left deliberately, either as a sign of distress or possibly planted. Without confirmation from authorities, the theories ranged from tragic accident to foul play. Was this simply a heartbreaking accident in an otherwise peaceful setting? Or does the isolated location and eerie clues, like the abandoned shoes, hint at something far more sinister? We may never know what truly happened that day on Lake Emery. That's all for tonight's video. Which encounter gave you chills? Let us know in the comments below. Got your own experience? We want to hear it. And whatever you do, don't miss what's coming next.